Hello, your son's
Hey, how are you? Good. Well, did we make a pot?
So, just like when I was trying to find connections, just similar, she was just like the big spokesperson for, and she also had connections with OG&E. So she had a connection with OG&E.
Ron
So
goes through major
she kind of sought
surgery
me out.
tomorrow on Monday.
Yeah. Like I said, I just had a run 10 years ago when I was
They make me thinking that, well, it's still there and he's still that nation.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm still,
I have to understand what you see. And I not to be my baby.
yeah.
Ran into each other there talking.
And what school is where she at now?
She's at a Vanderbilt. She's working in the office. So I'm gonna start charging y'all for pictures.
I did good, Jan.
I'll just buy you a box of that. Nothing happens. Totally orchestrated. It's totally orchestrated all
That's
of
been a
Vanderbilt.
drippy nose.
Right?
Well, I'm telling you, you're just sitting with everybody.
Okay. Now, if you said
What if the troublemaker community?
I'd have to.
Huh?
I'd have to sit by.
Then I think I'll go sit
I
back.
was
'cause
board
I
of trustees
can't
meeting
get
special
legal by
session to
themselves.
order at 7.
Vice Chair?
Roll call, please.
Trustee King?
Yeah.
Trustee Neal? Here.
Here.
No, not at all.
Okay, we're on item number 3, welcome guests. A comment from those assembled pertaining to an item on the agenda. Only items listed on the agenda can be discussed. If there is an agenda item that any person wishes to address, the person shall raise his or her hand to be recognized by the mayor or other presiding officer. The person shall stand, address the remarks to the specific agenda item. A maximum of 3 minute address by such person may be made. On all other agenda items, any member of the public wishing to be heard shall raise their hand, and if recognized by the mayor, chairman, or presiding officer, shall limit their address to 3 minutes. The mayor or presiding officer may provide additional time. So I'm going to call for comments.
Okay, you guys need to make your comment? Yes, ma'am, here.
Regarding, for, had it a minute ago, H, the concerns with stop signs being removed on Asp. As a property owner on Asp, and someone who has a grandchild that lives on Asp and other children, that Asp is full of children, and it really concerns me that the welfare of those children are not being taken, may not be being taken into consideration with the removal of the signs, and certainly not with the stance of leaving them down. We need those stop signs. Our children are at risk, and in fact, we just had a family with 6 children move into one of the houses that's on the bus route for the school. And it terrifies me to think about any of those children getting hit by one of the cars that keeps speeding down Asp without regard for anybody walking or the children playing. We're coming into springtime, and families are wanting to get out and use our streets to walk and get exercise and have family time. But when cars are speeding down the streets, and it's not just Asp, they're speeding down the streets, our citizens are having to get out of the way of people with a deadly vehicle to keep from getting hit injured, possibly killed. And I just, I beg you guys to reconsider your stance on this and get those stop signs up and leave them up. For the safety of our children.
And I'll second
Any other comments?
Anybody else got any other comments?
I got more of a question than anything. Whose idea was this to take the stop signs down? It's the ignorantest thing I have ever heard. We decided they needed to be up, now all of a sudden we decide they need to be down. That's crazy.
We can't address it.
Until we get to the agenda.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't.
That's all right, I'm not asking
No,
for
no,
that.
we can't address your questions until we get to the agenda.
That's
item.
okay.
But thank you for your comments.
Anybody else?
I just have one comment. So as far as the stop signs versus the speed bumps, I think since we have the stop signs, it would be more cost effective to just put them back up versus doing speed bumps, and the maintenance and long-term costs on the speed bumps, I think would just be something that's not necessary.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
I'll address.
Okay.
My name's Colton Warren. I live on the corner of Aspen High. Lived here my whole life. Drove up and down these roads with no stop signs. I drove up and down them with stop signs. Do I like the stop signs? I don't like the stop signs. Okay? If the stop signs are there, I'm going to stop at them because I completely agree with you about the kids. Okay? My only problem with that is that even if the stop signs are there, does that mean that they're going to stop? Okay, and I'm not picking a fight. I'm just saying. Okay. You talk about speed bumps. The whole other thing comes in is maintenance of speed bumps. You put speed bumps in, then somebody has to maintain those speed bumps. Then who does that go to? Okay. Then there's more money that we have to take to put speed bumps in, so on and so forth. So, my opinion, I like it better. It's easier to go up and down the road without the stop signs. We don't have any way of governing with a police force in town to be able to stop the people that run them. And I sit out on my porch every morning and I watch people, and they have run those stop signs every single morning, running through their 35, 40 mile an hour. And it's funny because whenever I step out on my porch, those people that are coming, they'll hit the brakes because I'm watching them. It's the only reason.
I sit out there.
So, I see both sides of it. Just my personal opinion, I like it better without the stop signs because we can go up and down the road easier. We walk up and down the road. I completely agree. There's not enough sidewalk space in the town to utilize that to be able to walk down the side of the road. But like I said, just purely my opinion, I like the removal of the stop signs because I just don't think there's a way that we can actually get people to actually stop at them if they're there anyway. So.
Thank you. Okay.
I hear all this, we can't afford, or we've got to do maintenance, we've got to do this. If one of these kids gets hit, I guarantee you, the parent of those kids are going to sue the town. That's just how it's going to be. So can we afford to put speed bumps and stop signs in it? Or do we need somebody to maybe have a kid killed and sue the town?
Thank you. Okay. We're going to move on to the business agenda.
She wants, there's one more comment.
Okay.
I've been watching that stop sign since they put it back up. I'm out there every morning until dark. And a lot of people do stop. There's just a few that do not. And I always get after them. And sometimes I follow them home. Because I guess you know, all these little kids around town, I love them to pieces. And I take them cookies and I do things that neighbors do. But I would like to keep the stop sign because there is that many stops. You know, everybody's not gonna obey the laws. Let's get real. There's a lot of people that just break the law because they can.
I got something, it was a conversation I had with a person here in town. And they mentioned to me at least two individuals, that if one of those children of theirs was to get hit by some idiot because they're doing 50 miles an hour down these streets, oh, there wouldn't be no lawsuit, there'd be a jail sentence, because
There'd be a jail.
they would literally,
Of course they
I know personally, they wouldn't just go up and walk them. No, they'd shoot them dead and kill their children. It's just, that would be the way it is. And I know who these guys are, and they're not gonna play. But yeah, it's pretty bad.
Appreciate it. Okay. Business, we have to, please.
Okay, the business agenda. The following items are hereby designated for discussion, consideration, and possible action which requires individual action. First, discussion, consideration, and possible action for March 25, 2025 special meeting tonight. A, discussion and possible action on OG&E franchise election.
That's a special election proclamation, right?
Well, this just says we're gonna discuss it. There's an item B here. Do we wanna address A first?
I don't think there's,
Item B is the special proclamation and there's the ordinance.
Give me the add B.
Add B with A.
Okay. Discussion and possible action of ordinance.
If I could pause for just a second. Wendy, is there a difference between the proclamation on item A, right?
the
And then the ordinance
proclamation
is item B, correct?
is in one of the other ordinances. I believe it's the one calling the agreement, and it's calling for this special election, not the proclamation is. So that's not a separate vote on item. We have two resolutions. One is the resolution regarding the election itself, and then the other one is the agreement with OG&E for the franchise. And then the third one is a resolution that's calling for the special election through the county election board for that election.
Okay. So A is the catch-all for basically anything
It's
coming
just-
forward.
It's been what's on the agenda when we tabled it, and so I just brought it on with everything else. So I think there's not really anything to discuss about it. We've done that. It's just on to the
All right,
ordinances
B.
and the resolution.
Okay.
Yes.
So everybody else comment?
Okay.
All right.
Item B is 2025-02. Just to be clear, emergency ordinance, the Board of Trustees, the Town of Coyle, amending Chapter 1, Article 2, for Municipal Code by the amendment, yada, 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 providing for the adoption of an ordinance that the Town of Coyle shall decide initiative and referendum questions through elections conducted by the County Election Board for the June 10th, 2025 OG&E's franchise election, only in providing for this ordinance's automatically, did I read that right?
Repeal.
This ordinance is automatic repeal on June the 11th of 2025. In effect, we're voting to use the county board for our June 10th, and by approving this ordinance, we also repeal this ordinance as of June 11th. And that is at the request of OG&E, who will be covering the cost of that. So they've asked us to do this. It's outside of our ordinary way of holding.
Just,
This is the ordinance. And it's the important part of this, I think, is item 1.1. Pursuant to the statute, Coyle hereby declares it shall not be governed by the Town Meeting Act as a means of deciding initiative and referendum questions for the June 10th, 2025 general election. The town of Coyle hereby declares that initiative and referendum questions shall be conducted by the Logan County Election Board, but only with respect to the June 10, 2025 OG&E franchise election pursuant to Title 11, Section 16-101 of the Oklahoma statutes. And then we have standard ordinance.
Probably the repeal is very important on that.
Well, this repeals all of the prior ordinances, not this one, that this would be in conflict with. All ordinances or part thereof which are inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed, meaning our town election act.
Second part of that's the important part, that it shall be automatically
And it shall be
repealed.
automatically repealed under the as stated earlier. Okay. So, is there any discussion on this at this time? I think we reviewed it about 3 times. No, it's okay, I
I
like this
still don't
one.
like doing it this way, but I think this is gonna meet the intention that we should do.
Well, you get sent it to the election board, submit it back,
They okayed it.
and they okayed it. You send it to OG&E, you okay? We're okay. I'll make the motion that we accept the ordinance 2025-02, repealing our
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Take B, C.
Okay.
Declare an emergency clause in the ordinance in 2025-02.
Okay, you do have to vote at the tail end of this. This was stated to be an emergency ordinance, but we have to have a vote that we agree that it is an emergency ordinance. Can I make a motion that we declare an emergency clause on ordinance 2025-02?
I got a motion to have a second.
You have no right here in emergency ordinances.
I don't know why.
Second.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That was
Did.
all right, shall continue on a roll here. Number D, discussion and possible action on ordinance 2025-03. An ordinance granting to the Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company, aka OG&E, and Oklahoma Corporation, its successors, and assigns the right to produce, transmit, and distribute electricity within the town limits, and to sell electricity therein for all purposes which it may be used to the town of Coyle in Logan County, Oklahoma, its inhabitants, and publicly generally, and the right to construct, maintain, and operate a system of poles, wires, conduits, and other facilities and equipment in, upon, across, under, and over the streets, alleys, public grounds, and other places in the town for such purposes for a period of 25 years from the approval and acceptance of this ordinance, providing compensation to the town, ordering an election, and declaring an emergency.
What's this?
This is our ordinance here. This is a,
The agreement with OG&E.
Oh,
It's the agreement itself. And it's
section
been-
1 is we're the town, OG&E is the company. Section 2, we're granting the right, and it's for 25 years, and they shall construct, operate, and maintain. The town will make and enforce reasonable regulations concerning construction located how we want them. Reserves the right to, the town reserves the right to lay or permit to be laid other companies' cables, electricity, conduits, water, sewer, gas, etc. We do not lose the use of our easements. Wherever by reason establishing or changing a grade, or in location, manner, construction, any public way, whatever, shall be deemed necessary by the town to alter any portion within reasonable time, give the company notice so they can move their lines. Town should require the company to adopt and conform its system or any way to, shall be entity designing and making such change. Okay. Town shall require the company to adapt or conform its system or its any other way to alter, relocate, or change its property to enable any person from corporation or entity, whether public or private, other than the town, to use its public. Okay, so basically if we let someone else use the right of way, we again need to have that company also adapt and conform and not disturb AGV, basically. And the company, AGV, shall defend and indemnify the town of any damages that they could have caused. Electricity provided in the town, its inhabitants. Public rates charged, therefore, shall be in accordance with orders, rules, and regulations of the Corporation Commission. Company shall have the right to assign this franchise by written notice. And they could sell it to another public electricity company. From and after approval, we are to be paid 3% of the gross revenues on or before the 25th of July. Shall abide by any order, rule, or regulation by the Corporation Commission. Franchise fees paid by the company shall be in lieu of all other franchise, excise, license, occupation, inspection, and other fees or assessments except ad valorem taxes. The company shall furnish to the town without charge each year during the term hereof electric current to be used exclusively by the town to operate traffic signal lights, buildings occupied and operated by the town for municipal purposes to be applied by the company as a credit to the billings, and that's what we apply against the fire department's electric bill. So they're basically covering the majority, if not all, of the fire department's bill as part of our compensation. The company shall accept any franchise. Should the company accept any franchise from any other municipality in Oklahoma that the company provides consumers with electric service, it shall such other franchise provide for franchise fees, extraction fee, or any other similar assessment greater than the applicable rate stated within, and the franchise fee rate provided for the town shall be automatically increased, called favored nations clause, meaning that they're being fair with us today and will be fair with us in the future. As I've given interpretation of that. Special election is hereby called for the purpose of submitting this ordinance to the qualified electors of the town meeting within its corporate limits for their approval or disapproval, provided the company shall pay the cost of such election. As we discussed, election shall occur June 10th day of June, yada, yada. In case the franchise hereby granted is approved at said election, the company shall within 30 days of the date of the approval file with the clerk of the town in writing its acceptance. After we approve it, they've got 30 days to approve and return that signed copy to us. Franchise hereby granted shall, on its effective date, supersede and terminate any previous franchise granted by the company. That's the repeater for them. And emergency is hereby deemed and declared to exist whereby it is necessary the preservation of the public health, safety, welfare of the inhabitants of the town, that this ordinance take effect immediately. That is the purpose of an emergency clause, that it takes effect immediately. From and after its approval, adoption, and publication provided by law. Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
After reading all of that, you guys maintain our street lights. And is that covered by a separate agreement? Or how does that continues, I assume?
Yes.
And I don't know, what is the vehicle that provides that service?
I don't think it's part of the,
Franchise, it's the,
but you can put your, you can't allocate the funds to, like I said, those funds allocated to the fire department.
yes, is that part of them also?
I believe so.
Okay, but you still provide the manpower, I mean,
Yes, we do
that
maintain
agreement
the-
is gonna stay in place.
Yes, and that's,
No,
and that's probably separate, right?
Part of the section on there that says that they provide power for all streetlights, et cetera, that's part of it. So part of their having the grid in town is their requirement to maintain all of that.
Well, we pay for the electricity in the
Right.
streetlights, but
But they
the fact
own
that they
all of
maintain our
Yes.
streetlights is something we can't do.
No.
Because I know there is, I think I know where you're kind of going, there is a way that where you guys could, if you wanted to.
Well, I still want to control their electric panels and stuff like that.
At this
You don't
point
want
in
that.
time, RG&E owns the lights, the poles, and if they want to get paid for them, it's advantageous to them to keep them maintained. So,
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the new franchise, updated franchise agreement for Buckingham.
Do I have a second?
ordinance 25-03,
Yes.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And then, do we have notice to declare the emergency?
We'll get there if you can declare the emergency. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we declare the emergency clause of ordinance 2025-03 an emergency.
Still the emergency clause is the second.
Okay. Yes.
You-
All
All in favor?
Aye. Done.
Don't make anybody else wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Now, what is this thing?
This is what we're going to the election.
Oh, okay, here we go again.
Sorry, catch it.
Discussion and possible action on approving resolution 2025-6-A, resolution calling for a special election in the town of Coyle, Oklahoma on the 10th day of June 25 for the purpose of submitting to the qualified electors of the town the question of whether an ordinance granting a franchise to Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company for purposes of producing, transmitting, and distributing electricity in the town of Coyle shall be approved, authorizing the mayor to call the election by proclamation and requesting the Logan County Election Board to conduct the election. So this is a special proclamation.
Just curious, doesn't he also have a timber farm, a wood mill, something? You guys have a lot of people with you.
Yeah.
I mean, is this like a self-serving thing or?
Just like,
Okay, did we vote to declare?
I think it's within the resolution, so once the resolution is approved, it will declare the emergency, the proclamation, which is what gets published, right, Spencer?
Yes.
Yes.
The proclamation is what gets published, for the election.
All right, that was,
So do we all want, do we want,
we can read the proclamation if you like, kind of roll up there. That's
well, I
fine.
don't know, does anybody want to hear this thing? I didn't think
Just
so.
proclaiming that we're not.
Anyway, this is a summation of everything we've already done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it'll be signed by the mayor, and we're done.
Yep.
With OG&E.
Do we need vote on that?
Oh, we're just
No.
You did
beginning.
vote on the resolution. You did vote on the resolution.
You got the resolution to accept that.
Or we don't know?
Oh, that was my whole question.
It was 700 months.
That motion,
I make a motion, go ahead.
Well, you're all.
A motion for approving the resolution 2025-06 hyphen A, calling for a special election in the town of Boyle on the 10th day of June.
do I have a second? Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we're done.
Now we're done.
No, that
I
was
said
you.
that's what I was asking all along. Who's voting this? The answer was no, but actually.
Not on the proclamation, but on the resolution, yes.
Seriously.
All right. So,
The proclamation is also,
it's this little two-pager right here.
right,
It needs properly signed so that,
What about the, special elections?
you probably gotta sign all this stuff.
we just have to all. Richard has already listed, and this is just your proclamation. Provisions of the ordinance 125-03 duly passed by the Board of Trustees of Town of Boyle on the 25th day of March 2025. Public notice is hereby given that a special election is hereby called, ordered, and proclaimed to be held in the town of Boyle, Oklahoma on the 25th day of March 2025 for the purpose of submitting qualified electors residing within the corporate limits of the town of Boyle, Oklahoma, the following proposition to wit. Shall franchise be granted? This is the question that will be asked on the election,
On the ballot.
on the ballot. Shall franchise be granted to the Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company, a corporation, its successors, and assigns, given it the right to produce, transmit, and distribute electricity within the town, and to sell electricity therein for all purposes for which it may be used to the town, its inhabitants, and public generally, and the right to construct, maintain, and operate a system of poles, wires, conduits, and other facilities and equipment in, upon, across, under, over the streets, alleys, public grounds, or ways in the town for such purposes for a period of 25 years, providing compensation to the town in accordance with the terms of ordinance number 25-03, passed and approved by the Board of Trustees of the town of Boyle, Oklahoma on 25th of March 2025. Ballot to be used at said election shall be substantially as follows. Shall a franchise, basically goes to ask the same thing as when I asked, are you for the proposition or against the proposition? So, polls for said election shall open at 7 a.m. and shall remain open until 7 p.m. on said proposed 10th day of June 2025.
What is the location?
Usually it's where you're next door to Christian Church.
Good, because we're gonna have another election no, that's a different one. Okay, then that's good, we're clear.
Yeah, we're good.
It's the other one that we're over there. School board election, same night as our town election for president.
Right. So we'll do the town election here and the school board election over there. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to roll on?
No.
I think we just did.
Yeah, that's what that's become. That's not a question of the proposal.
Discussion of possible actions, complete.
Do you need anything before you introduce yourself?
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for your patience. Everyone, I do strongly consider you guys vote yes, just to keep our relationship going. I really do enjoy working with the town of Coral. I know I might not be here 25 years from now, but I want to make sure that we keep it going. So,
Oh, you'll be around.
thank you guys.
You'll be old and gray. You'll be around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Before you leave, I'm going to make one statement. I think the Corporation Commission has a lot to do with who provides us with our electricity. Is that not true? If this is a designated area, I don't know.
Correct.
And if we didn't want to do any, we just might be back to the old bicycle.
Don't age.
No, but I trust that we'll continue. But you guys enjoy the rest of your meeting and be safe tonight.
Hundred Forge, give me a hog.
Yes, yes.
Ordinance,
Public guy. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
vegetation, don't
Yes,
touch.
yes, yes, thank you.
Okay, see you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Discuss the possibility of speed.
Okay, well, I did what I said I would do, and Linda's also helped me a little bit. I do need to know what before and after means.
Okay, so the before are all of the stop signs that have been up. The after are the ones that are currently up. I was just trying to give you a visual.
Okay, no, I appreciate that.
And if anybody
But I'm
wants,
trying to figure out which one they're missing.
the ones on,
The yellow circles.
yeah, the yellow circles are the ones that
Are those little
were
yellow
there.
circles?
It's a small town, you got small circles.
Flashlight.
No, I found it.
Magnifying
I got
glass.
new glasses there if you need them.
I do have new glasses on.
I do.
Okay, so. There is, so, Washington. So starting at the top of the school, but it's same. So West High, there's stop and go north and south, is what we're doing. First, you're still there, and leave. So we're talking about 2 streets at this point in time, is that correct? Okay. Now, listening to what everybody has said, speeding is our problem, it's not the stop signs. I mean, every one of you who spoke, fast cars, dangerous cars, running up and down the roads, running stop signs. Okay, and I know you don't want speed bumps, and I'm not so sure I do, but I did tell you I would check them out and get some information. I did call Branson, and they call them humps, not bumps.
Well, they're 3 feet wide.
Well, actually, they're 5 foot wide.
You know,
Oh,
that's
really?
what it is, yeah.
And the purpose is to not pull you to a stop, but to slow you down. They also sent me the schematics. Okay. They suggested maybe radar cards to remind people that you're driving 40 miles an hour instead of 25. Well, I don't think that's, they're not going to stop at stop signs. I'm not going to be able to read that either, probably.
Those are considerably more expensive than speed bumps.
Well, the word right here is EXPENSIDE.
That would be the word, yeah.
Sharpness of the angle of speed bumps. He was a delightful fellow. He truly was. However, in Branson, they have stopped putting it in. And the reason being in Branson, which is a much larger place than we are, was the impact on the emergency vehicles trying to get somewhere. So,
That's also my concern about several firefighters.
yeah, I understand. But they're still on the table. They're still on the plan. We discussed rumble strips. Rumble strips are what you see, oh goodness, when you go to Tulsa, when you go to the street that goes crosswise to 33 to Bristol. Rumbles.
On the side of the highway. Yeah, that's correct.
Well, not on the side, these are
In
actually
the road.
across the road, and they're like, to look to me is that I drive to Tulsa 5 times a week sometimes, to be thick gunk of some sort. That's, oh, it can't be more than an inch tall to create that. It's, and, you know, he and I were just knocking things around that you, maybe could use those with some crosswalk markings to slow people down
Sure.
periodically versus the stop
School
sign.
crossings, things like that.
Now, I have no, I'm just researching it, okay? So, that's the report back from Branson. I also have, I called Edmund because they have speed bumps all over the place. And they gave me, and I did this during the fire guys and the donation. And I have the number for the engineering department in Edmund. And when preparing for tonight, I said, oh my goodness, I forgot to call them. And I will do that. So that would give us more information. That's on speed bumps. I am waiting for a call back from the university police. We can't afford $2,000 a month. I mean, it sounds like is a child's life worth $2,000? I would say, heavens to God, it's worth $1 million. But our budget, we only have so much money coming into this town. And so the argument of us, yada yada, is really a red herring as far as I'm concerned. The purpose is to slow the traffic down. And so we've got stop signs, we've got speed bumps, we've got rumble strips, we've got police officers. And I don't have enough yet because Langston hadn't. The chief was out of the office when I stopped by. He left me my card.
I'll do this during the fire.
No, it's after the fire.
Oh, I was gonna say, he was probably on the sooner
I
fire.
went there yesterday.
Oh. He was on
I'm
the sooner
smarter
fire.
than that, Dusty. For God's sakes.
I didn't realize he was on sooner fire.
Oh, did you find him?
Yeah.
But anyway, and I still intend to call Logan County because, who was I talking with? Cagle. I was talking with Superintendent Cagle because he did call and ask. The buses were not able to make their turns to get to school, and that's why those 2 stoplight signs went up immediately because the bus. I don't know, people are so rude, they don't let a school bus go. I don't know what to tell you. But that's where we live, guys. And maybe that's why we need things different than we had when I was a kid growing up here. I don't know, but I think that's a sad state of our society, that we're raising people that can't obey the law. I don't have anything else. I'm still working on this, guys.
Are there options for small towns such as ours to get grants for law enforcement?
I'm glad you said that because I did call Bill Hackett, and he is the one I called first, and he has not returned well, I did talk to him, and he was supposed to gather traffic control. But he was supposed to email me something, and I sent him my email, and I have not got it yet, so I need to follow up with
On
him.
grants for law enforcement?
Well, OMAG is the one, he's on their insurance company. They're the ones that provide us the grants for the sewer clean out and things like that. Their whole goal is to reduce liabilities for the town. If anybody's gonna have anything for law enforcement, you probably will know who that is.
Well, as a matter of fact, you might remember when we had him come in and basically do a class on municipality, and they do the 3 Ps. I don't remember what the other one was, but prison police were 2 of them. So that's their big deal. So law enforcement was something they were very familiar with.
So tomorrow I should be home all day. I will rattle his cage, and I will also try to get in touch with, I talked to him today, Troy Dykes. I don't know if he'll take my phone call 2 days in a row or not, but I'll find out. He took my call today, so.
Okay.
I would like to say, I've been talking to Naomi, she's got quite the history on this thing. And there's been 25 to 30 years since there's been children living on that block rather. So that's why it was so important to put the slow children in front. They're not used to children living there. And now we've got families living on all 4 corners.
Again, they are breaking the law, and
But that's why.
I'm extremely frustrated that this is the way people operate here. Anyway, I would like to table this until maybe our next meeting, give me a few more weeks to gather more information.
I think we should go ahead and take the rest of those. That way, that way we can figure out what we got going on. Yeah.
So somebody wants to remove them on Iowa?
So, the big bag, they just didn't take my time.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so H is concerns about being removed, and I is removing. So where we got this counter thing going on in this
I'm
town.
gonna say, I've got, I mean, I call it.
No, you're fine.
We have several of our citizens that wanted to be here tonight, to be a part of this once again, and unfortunately they called away, and our fire department also had a meeting tonight. You have pretty well addressed all three of those items in one, which I don't have an issue with, because I think honestly, all three of those items are addressing the same topic, the same reason, same address. I like more what you said about they're breaking the law. Stop sign speeding or whatever, we put it up, and when you drive through one of our stop signs, you're thumbing your nose at a town and saying, we don't care what your rules are. And I would like to also at this time, Colton, thank you very much for being here. I know you don't get down here a lot, I appreciate you coming to share your, living across the way, I see a lot of people stopping, you see people that don't, but we're also at different times. So I appreciate that other perspective. And of course, I appreciate everybody else that comes here. I'll talk to y'all later. I think in the interest of, you're going out of some things here, you got some calls in, and I'd like to hear what you think for it. Bill Tackett's gonna come up with some stuff on signage and things like that, I'd like to hear what he has to say about it.
We call it hot traffic control.
Right,
I
that's,
don't know what it's doing.
this all falls under the mayor. And I'm curious what Curtis Stewart, Chief Curtis Stewart over at Langston University has to say about this as well. So to that end, I'll make a motion that items D, H, and I are tabled to the next meeting for the purpose of gathering additional information on that topic.
I got a motion,
I have some.
got a second, all in favor?
You've got a second, you made the second.
I am studying this because I'm seeing
I'll make a
this.
motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, I got that one.
7:46.
We can get a laughing water somewhere, I'll try to do
Well,
it.
this is, I just got to discuss
Yes, ma'am, I have.
it. And we do have stop signs every block. It's on every other block,
It's,
not every other block. Every other block.
You all don't want to hear about it.
we're not, well, I don't hold
They are true.
I used to let mine, but I was there with them. And if I saw a car coming, I made sure they got out. Well, they should.
Not my.